Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. Yesterday, someone sent in an amazing question asking for strategies on how to help a child with autism blow their nose. That can be something really challenging to teach, so let's dive right into it. So I like to help kids learn to blow their nose the same way I like to teach them just to blow out of their mouth. Now, there's a few ways I can do that. So one is using this cotton and having them blow it around tissue and bubbles. Kids tend to really like bubbles. Now I have a disclaimer, these are dollar store bubbles. They don't work really well, so I wouldn't use these bubbles. But let's jump right into modeling some techniques that I like to use. So here we go. When we want kids to learn to blow from their nose, we want it to be really fun. So one of the things that we have to remember is that people with autism often have sensory issues, and they may not like their face being touched. Children with autism are also far more likely to experience hypersensitivity. So in the past, someone wiping their nose could be aversive to them, and they might have paired that as something that's a really unpleasant experience. So we want to make it really fun. Now, I actually like to use cupcakes when I'm teaching kids to blow out of their mouth. With the nose, that's not a good idea. But kids also really love bubbles. So what you can do is teach them to blow bubbles from their nose. It's actually really fun. So you would put your hand underneath their nose and there we go. You got some bubbles. So that actually often will work the first time if you have better bubbles, but like I said, so that's a really fun technique I use to teach kids to blow their nose. Another thing that is really simple, and usually what I do is I'm using somewhat kind of like a shaping procedure. If you're an ABA therapist watching this, you're going to tell me it's not exactly shaping, and you're right. But what we're going to do, right, we start off with bubbles. Then I'm going to put the cotton ball, and I'm just going to hold it up and have them blow it off of my hand with their nose. Again, you just want to hold it above their mouth. That way, it's kind of hard to demonstrate on my own body, but when you're working with a kid, keep it above their mouth so they're not just blowing from their mouth. And simply, you can have them blow it right out of their hands. Now, like I said, the third thing I usually do is then go to tissue paper, toilet paper. I have toilet paper because I don't have tissues, but actually tissues work better because they're lighter. And you're going to have the kids, then you're going to, again, put it to their nose and you're going to have them blow it off or make it move. And then eventually you're going to get to the point where you're putting it to their nose or letting them put it to their nose. Being very sensitive to whether the child that you're teaching does have some sensory needs and making sure that you're not hurting them. Now, it's normal for kids to cry, especially when kids are learning to blow their nose. Most of the time they're under the age of 5. A lot of kids don't like their nose being wiped, whether they're typically developing or whether they have autism. But be very sensitive to the child's sensory needs and really use as much care as you need to in order to teach this. So I really hope this video was helpful. These are the strategies that I use. If you have things that you do, I would love to hear about them. If you're doing this at home, then this is a really fun and easy way. The reason I like to use these 3 things is it's very visual. If you tell a child just to blow, they may not really understand what they're doing. Now, there is, right, the fact that when you're blowing out of your nose, it is kind of hard. Obviously you want to be careful, like if you're sick, always have hand sanitizer when you're teaching this, but you can also have the child, if they're comfortable with it and you're comfortable with it and the parent's comfortable, put their hand by your nose and just show them what that feels like. Just making sure to use hand sanitizer afterwards. But this does, it works for kids. They typically find this fun right away, and nose blowing can be an aversive experience. These tips and tricks, it tends to make it a really positive experience. So I hope you liked this video. I love making these videos. I wake up every morning and it's the first thing I think about is what video am I going to make for the day? So if you have any questions, I would love to hear from you because I'd love to make a video just for you, just like I made this video for one of the viewers of the channel. So just go to hopeeducationservices.com. That's my website. Drop your email in. You'll get automatically some of my best ebooks, and then just reply to that email with your question and I'd be happy to answer it for you. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.